My name is Maile Meyer, and I am the project coordinator on the I.O. Art Walls. I.O. is part of the new Ward Village Master Plan, named after a Hawaiian stilt that used to live in the area when it was marshlands. Ward Village contacted me to get together a group of local artists to try to interpret the area through the lens of the I.O. and the wind patterns that are prevalent in this area. Together, we went through the process of developing creative content around wind and islands and the I.O. and portraits of people connected to this project.
The process for this I.O. wall piece included artwork from the preschool from across the street. And so we worked with them and utilized a lot of their finger paintings and tissue collages and used that texture within the vector pieces of the I.O. From a design perspective, children's artwork really is a great exercise on the use of colors, especially primary colors, and how all of that mixed in. I knew that the kids would naturally combine color and find these beautiful combinations of blues and reds and what would look like when you muck up all those colors together. Children have a natural and innocent perspective on art making. There's absolutely no fear in creating. When you get older, there's a lot of pressure to make it look perfect and pretty and within the lines, and I think hopefully people will look at it and remember that there is a joy in making something by hand.
My piece here at Ward Village is based off of wind current patterns. So what I've done is I've chosen to interpret the patterns that exist around the Hawaiian Islands, but in an abstract, organic way. The project is commissioned by Ward Village, and the architectural design of the I.O. building reflects that interest in wind patterning and formation. Wind is ephemeral, it has no physical form. And so I wanted to think about how I can give this almost non-existent thing physical presence. The wind current kind of ties all three of these separate pieces together, and I think that's really beautiful the way that it works. And us all coming from our different backgrounds, we have a lot to share with each other. That collaborative part of the process has been really interesting.
I am doing a series of portraits using a photographic process called wet plate collodion and shot in a form of triptychs. Each one of those portraits represents somebody that has contributed to cultivating the culture that surrounds this new development. The biggest connection that I had with this project was being able to learn and study the I.O., the native Hawaiian black stilt bird. And it's become endangered over the years because its habitats have been eroded away. I had to study where it lived, how it lived, what it ate, and figure out a way to approach it in a safe manner while still allowing myself to get these images. I had the honor of photographing Ka'anohi Kalikini. She's an iwi kupuna and also a cultural advisor for the Howard Hughes Corporation on this project. It was a great honor for me because I had heard of her, I was aware of her, and I greatly admired her work. We were able to photograph her, and her family also showed up, and so I was able to provide her with portraits of them as well, and that was a nice surprise. Her image also turned out really great, in my opinion, and I think it's one of the strongest ones. What's really unique about the wet plate collodion process is that it's permanent. The reason we have images from the late 1800s from the Civil War is because of the longevity of this process, but then its ability to last through generations and through time without any fading. I hope that in the future, because of this work that we're doing to bring about this awareness of this bird and the culture that used to thrive here, that people become inspired to take more of an active role in being a part of this community, but also being a part of sustainable living practices. That 200 years from now, this place will be a thriving community, and that this bird will also be able to thrive in its own way too.
Public art is so important to community because it allows us to dream along with the artists. You get a lot of emotional engagement with art. Ward Village has made a commitment to create more access to the kind of interaction that these walls represent. The cultural interaction of being able to walk and talk and meet and be in a village scenario, it's something that is real if the community rises up to create that opportunity. And art is part of that dynamic.